All right, friends, we have arrived. There's good news and bad news. The good news is this is the last section for which you're responsible. The bad news is it's pretty long. What I'm going to talk about in my workshops live is the fact that I think that building the curriculum from the standards down, or in this case the standards up, is the best way to do it. However, there's a lot of clicking. So I'm hoping that as you guys get rolling or as you collaborate, you can kind of share out strategies to make this as painless as possible. However, as you saw in the toolkit and anything else I sent out to you, we do need to have standards aligned to the curriculum. So I'll go through these one by one and kind of just talk about what you should be looking to do in each. Really the technical part's pretty easy. So the ELA and Literacy Common Core is where you'll begin. When you open up this window, you'll actually see all these as blank. You can search for an item. I don't suggest doing that. What I would do is start with your content area. There's only 3 categories. This is for elementary folks. The middle one is for only language arts, which is nice for our language arts people, and this one is for secondary, for all the non-language arts courses. So let's just pretend, for the sake of it, that's what it is. I'm going to pick this one because I taught 12th grade. So when you identify specifically whom you're addressing, then everything else just becomes clicking and looking at the language and deciding that which applies to this unit. Again, for standards in particular, you're going to find that there's plenty that will overlap. So the capacities of literate individual really have nothing to do with content area. This is something that you're probably going to look at no matter what you're writing for. And everything else is content-based: history, social studies, science and tech, and then writing. Okay, so you just apply that which applies to the unit and click Save. And that's what you'll see, so that's what I'll see. For content area alignment, this is for non-language arts people. So you're looking at whatever it is that you're writing for. This is where you're going to spend most of your time. So because I know we have a lot of math being written this year, I want to choose an elementary. And then I'm going right down through the list again and clicking on anything that applies. And hopefully, again, if the more you do it, the more common it'll be, and you'll remember where stuff is. So you can just kind of click and save. However, again, it does matter, so please do take some time with that. The bottom 2, New Jersey Tech and 21st Century Themes, to me are pretty similar, but it's not up to me. So you'll see this when you start, and then you're going to choose a grade again. This time they are grouped, so this time I'll do middle school. And you're going to be choosing between Ed Tech, Tech Ed Engineering, et al., and that's it. And once you click, they will then appear. But again, that's not a negotiable section. You need to have something for tech standards because everything we do should involve some technology. And then the 21st Century Themes and Skills is a drop down here. What most folks do for this is pretty much use the same ones for each unit, and in this case I'm okay with it because it probably does apply. I think we're probably going to collaborate. I think it is taught. I think we're probably going to be creative. I hope it's taught, and so forth. So your section for standards alignment should look like this, but again, my apologies, significantly longer, because that is where you're going to be really kind of building from the inside out. Lastly, the accommodation section, and this is why I said there was good news. This is already pre-populated and you will never change it. It's only for me to do, and it's largely based on state mandate and CUSAC. So when you get to the end of your standards section, you are finished. All right, I hope these videos were helpful. Apologies for my mumbled, garbled voice, but obviously this is not the last communication you'll get from me. I hope that you continue to ask questions if you have them and to collaborate with each other on the way to really good work. All right, thanks guys. Take care.